Hi, everyone. Welcome back to On the DL. I'm Dana Levinson. We have a special guest today. Iris Haim is joining us today. Iris, I'm going to say your name in Hebrew. It's Iris, correct?
Yeah, but you can say Iris, it's okay also.
Okay. Well, if I go back and forth and say Iris, I say Iris, you'll forgive me, and our listeners will forgive me too, because we've had so many guests on the DL over the last several months that are Israeli. And so I tried to pronounce names according to their actual name. When I'm in Israel, I'm called Dana. When I'm in Canada, it's Dana. So I'm used to the back and forth with Israeli. So you can call me Dana or you can call me Dana, whatever we feel during our conversation over the next little bit. So welcome to On the DL. I'm very honored to speak to you. I have heard you speak before, and I have followed your story and your son Yotem's story. Just to bring everyone up to speed, Yotem was taken hostage on October 7th, and he was killed in December. And that is where I will let you start, perhaps, and tell me a little bit about Yotam and his story.
Yotam is my second son. He was born in Kibbutz Gvulot in the Negev of Israel, in the south of Israel. And he was a drummer, a musician. He played in a heavy metal band called Persephone. He was an athlete, a very funny person, a lot of humor, a sense of humor, black humor. I can talk about him for, a long time. His character was very complicated because from one side he was very funny and happy, but from the other side he was depressed and had anxiety. He dealt with some mental health issues and also physical health issues. He had a disease called ankylosing spondylitis. It's a rheumatic disease. He was he lived in the kibbutz Kfar Aza in the recent 3 years ago. Like 3 years ago, we left our home and went to live by himself in the kibbutz. He worked as a farmer and played the music. The music was his life. Yotam, for him, the music was the life.
I read that he had dreams of becoming a famous drummer.
Yes, he wanted to be a famous drummer. He had a very, very nice drum set and he played and practiced. So from one side, like I said, he was like he had the two levels of the personality. Not easy as a child and not easy as an adult, but we were really connected to him and supporting him. And in the 7th of October, as you said, he was planning to go to perform with his band Persephone in Tel Aviv. They had to go there at noontime. 2 o'clock, the show had to start in a heavy metal festival called the Psycho World. He was very, very excited. He was practicing a lot.
Psycho
Psycho
World?
World.
Oh,
Yeah, this
wow.
was the name of the festival. In the 7th of October, 2 o'clock p.m. at Tel Aviv. And we were intending to go there to see him, to be with him. Like I said, he had depression, he had anxiety, he had the eating disorder, he had post-trauma, complex post-trauma, and a lot of other problems. And for him to perform was a very, very big thing. But as you know, what happened, he didn't go to the show. He was kidnapped at 10 o'clock, 10:44 a.m. to Gaza. He was 65 days in captivity. And after 65 days, he and his two friends, Alon Shimriz and Samer Talalka, escaped from Hamas captivity. And for 5 days, they tried to reach the army. They escaped from the Hamas for 5 days in Sajaiya. And in the last moment, they arrived to the army, and by mistake, they were identified as terrorists and were killed.
So I can't imagine what that I'm listening to you say it, and I can't imagine what that's like feeling that, knowing your son was in Gaza, was taken hostage, had the wherewithal to escape, to survive, and was killed by mistake by his own people.
Yes, it's you can look at that in a lot of not a lot, but some ways. When we got this message, terrible message about Yotam, in the first few days, the way I could look at that point is just why. I just ask why it's happened to us. Why it's happened to us? Why? They did everything good. They did everything okay. He had a chance to live. Why? Like you said, why the IDF? But after 48 hours, this why I felt that this why is taking me like you just now you looked like with my head down. I wanted to jump to the hole to the grave with Yotam, and I couldn't raise my head, and I couldn't be in this position of just why, and why it's happened to us. I decided to leave the why. In Hebrew, why is lama. We say in Hebrew, why, the word why is lama. And I said lama is an animal that live in the Andes, the mountain in the Andim, and I'm leaving this animal to live there. I don't want to use the word lama anymore. Why? And then I thought about Yotam as a hero of the situation, not as a victim of the situation. Yotam, my son, was a part of the battle in Israel as many others. Today, there is a message in the newspaper in Israel, in the news, that I think it's 650 soldiers already died since the beginning of the war. And in this war, in this 7th of October, 100,500 people were murdered. And my son was a part, and we are a part of this battle now in Israel. A battle for the existence of Israel. And I saw it as a part, Yotam was a part of the battle. He left this world as a free person, like a hero, as a hero, not like a hero, as a hero.
Definitely.
And yes, it's very hard to accept the reality, this reality that our expectations were to Yotam will come back home, of course. We waited for 70 days, and I was very, very hopeful. I was very optimistic. I'm a very optimistic person. I convinced everybody in Israel. There was not one in Israel that didn't believe me. I promised everybody that Yotam is coming back home. I was sure. I trust the army. I trusted the government. I trusted the intelligence. I trusted Yotam. So the only one who didn't let me didn't disappoint me was Yotam, because he did what he needed to do. He was very brave. He is brave. And that's what I remember now. I don't want to. A minute? I am not focusing
You were
on
saying you don't want to.
I don't want to remember
I
the
see.
mistake of the army.
And that in itself speaks to an enormous amount of resiliency. It does, because when it happened, the the pit in my stomach, and everybody was so physically ill. We were so ill, thinking of your family and how could this happen, and why did this happen, and the mourning on this side of the world for one of our own, and the way it happened was so traumatic. But yet, I don't remember when it was, but it was shortly after I heard you. And I also heard you talk about how you wanted the soldiers to come to you for Hanukkah, which was shortly after Yotam had died.
Yotam, it happened to us in the end of Hanukkah, the last day of Hanukkah. Yotam, the 15th of December, it was Gimel B'Tevet.
Okay, that was
the
the time.
last day of Hanukkah. The Hanukkah was like full with the candles, and we buried Yotam's body in the 18th of December, and in the 20th of December, I gave this announcement. I sent this message to the soldiers that we love them, that we want to hug them, and that we are inviting them to come to us, to our house. We want to see them and hug them and tell them that we are not angry, we are not blaming them, we are not judging them. We don't know what happened there, so nobody can judge them. I told them that they need to be very safe, to keep their safety, and if they will see another terrorist, they must shoot him. Don't be afraid, I said, to shoot, because you didn't kill in purpose. And they came to see us. It's also it's not obvious that the soldiers will come, because they don't know who will be there. They came, there were thousands of people in our Shiva. They came without uniforms. Nobody knew who they are. They sat, and we came to them, me and my husband, separately, each one of us. I hugged them. They were very sad. And I thanked them. I said thank you, because you didn't let Hamas kill them, Yotam. So for me, it was like, in a way, better than to be murdered by Hamas. The situation is very painful, because, like you said, we waited to different results. I was sure 100% that Yotam is coming back home, and from 100 to 0 in 1 minute. And not just what you say in abroad, in Israel, people, it was Friday evening. The religious people didn't hear the announcement in this evening, just the after, in Shabbat, Motzei Shabbat. But the secular, like me, the televisions are open, and they heard the speaker, the army speaker, and they stopped eating. They started to cry. All of Israel cried with us the same evening.
All of the Jewish world cried with you. I can tell you, all of us cried with your family. But I haven't heard you say that before, when you said that better that they died not because of Hamas, that they died, that Hamas didn't have an opportunity to kill them. And
yes.
I haven't heard you say that before. And thank you for sharing your experience with the soldiers with me. It's very beautiful, because it's not just for the Jewish community to hear, it's important for the world to hear, because it was used against the army. It was another chip at the IDF that they didn't deserve or need. And we all knew it was a mistake, but people were saying, how could that mother not be so angry? Doesn't matter what religion, Jewish or not Jewish, we're all so angry. That's all I kept hearing in Canada. We're so angry at the IDF for this. And when you hear that, what do you say?
I said that the Israeli army, I cannot be angry at the Israeli army because it's like to to spit in the well that you are drinking from. This
Mm,
army, the army is us. The army in Israel is our children, it's our parents, it's our brothers. Each one in Israel knows that when something like this happens, the mothers in Israel, they think, first thing, they think about me and about this, that they are praying that it will not be their son that shoot, because
mhm,
the shooting, this, like you said, the friendly fire shooting, in Hebrew, we call it both sides. In Hebrew,
mhm,
it's called du tzaddi. Du is two, and sides, two sides. So what is this friendly fire or du tzaddi? When the soldier, this soldier can be my nephew, my neighbor, my best friend son. So we are a very small country. It's not like an army that we are paying to people to come and to protect us. This is us. So
yes.
if it's us, how can I be mad at me? And this, I want to say the point that I understood why it's so important what I did. Um, after the message, the one soldier came to my house. He was an officer 15 years ago. He was around 40 years old. He stand in outside of the house where we said Shiva, and he said, I'm 40 years old. 15 years ago, I was an officer, intelligence officer. I took a wrong decision. And my decision, because of my decision, there were few soldiers were killed by friendly fire. And until now, he is saying to me, until now, 15 years, I don't go out of my house nowhere except to medical treatments, to psychiatric treatments. I take psychiatric pills. I don't have family. I'm not working. I don't have children. And I can just to say thank you because you saved these people life. And when I heard him, I understood why I was not angry, because the shooting, this shooting, the soldiers that shoot Yotam, I know now that he's okay, but soldiers that are shooting friendly fire, this bullet that goes to the person that were killed, now it's a hostage, but usually it's soldiers, he is wounded also, very, very severe, because like this bullet is coming back to his heart. This is the both sides,
For
and
sure.
wounded him so much that he maybe prefer to die also, but he's not dead, so he's living, but his life is terrible. And I can see this, I can see this, what happened to me, not just about me. That's why I think my voice is so strong now in Israel, because I don't think just about myself. I can see the mothers of the soldiers, I can see the soldiers. I don't think just about myself. I'm very painful, but this pain is a part of a big pain in Israel now.
Mhm. Yes. And did the soldiers, when they came to visit you, did they want to talk about what happened? Did they want to tell you?
No,
Oh, they didn't.
no.
Okay. Yeah.
These soldiers, they came four soldiers. One of them was the officer, and three, we didn't know who was the person who shoot. We didn't know all the details also. So I don't, we thought it was a battle, but now I know. Now we know that there was one that shoot Yotam. He saw Yotam, he didn't recognize him, he thought he's a terrorist and he shoot him. But they didn't say, I didn't ask nothing. I just asked one thing. I asked, how didn't you recognize Yotam? He had a ginger hair long hair. So they said no, he was not, he was shaved. We couldn't know, we couldn't see. We couldn't see, and it was enough for me. I didn't want
I
them to
haven't,
come. Yeah,
yeah,
they
I
shaved
didn't know.
their heads.
I
So when
didn't
they
hear
were,
that before, Iris, and this is the first time because you bring up a very important point. Yotam with the beautiful red hair, big red hair,
yeah,
and again, the acknowledgement was, you know, how could they not know his red hair? You know, everybody saw pictures of Yotam for 65, 70 days. We're seeing pictures of Yotam. And he was one of the hostages that really stood out because of his blue eyes and his red hair. And so this was, again, one of those things that was coming back at the soldiers. How could they not recognize him with his hair? So I hadn't heard that point before. So thank you for sharing that. That's very important. Very important that
yes.
we get this information out. And I also think that what you say about the army in Israel is very different than armies around the world. And people just don't understand unless they've been to Israel. They've either lived in Israel or they've been to Israel to understand that the honor of serving your country in Israel is, it's not something that you choose. You are born with this. This is what you do if you are an Israeli. I heard you talk and say, my father was a soldier. I was a soldier. My husband was a soldier. Yotam was a soldier. We are all soldiers in Israel. And people from all over the world, in the diaspora, Jews from all over the world want to come and be a soldier, even for a small period of time, to just feel that honor, just to have that. They'll
Mhm.
say, I went and I did 30 days in the army, or I served on an army base, because it is beyond a feeling of your love or a love for Israel. And Israelis have this
Yeah.
very, very deep connection to the army. And people don't
First of all,
understand
I want
that.
to say that Yotam was not, he was a soldier for a few weeks because of his
Mm,
mental issues. He couldn't continue.
ah,
But he wanted very much to be a fighter. This was
mm,
one of his dreams. He was sure, like not every, but a lot of young people, that they like want to serve. They want to be in a meaningful serve, but he couldn't do it. And one of his black spots in life for him was that he was not a soldier. He
mm,
felt different. He felt not like everybody. And one of the things I'm telling that Yotam's end, the end here in this life, of course, because Yotam is here. The end of his life here was more than a fighter, more than a soldier. For him, he passed away as a hero, and he wanted to be this hero, and he proved everybody that a hero doesn't mean that you are with uniforms. You can be a hero without uniforms. But yes, you are right. The difference is very, very clear now, especially now when we see all the young soldiers, how much they are strong, how much they have like poison in the eyes, we say in Israel. They have poison in their eyes. They want to bring the Khatufim, to bring the hostages. That's what they went out to. They are they are full with the meaning to go and to do and to save and to. So how can I be angry? I know this was not in purpose.
you know, and also when you think about Tom's mental health and his coping skills, and maybe the idea that at the end of his life, he was so brave that he could muster up so much confidence to escape and be able to figure out how to do that and to survive 5 days alone, surviving. That is unbelievable. It's
So first of all,
unbelievable.
I want to say about the bravery that Yotam in his life before captivity, he was very brave because he needed to continue every day to live. He had a lot of thoughts about death. The life was not easy for Yotam and not obvious. He had a tattoo of a dot and a comma. A dot and a comma on his hand. A dot is the meaning of the end. When we are talking, we are putting a dot in the end of the sentence, and the comma, like this, for continuancy. So this tattoo, for people who are dealing with depression, you can see this tattoo on their body, sometimes somewhere on the body. A tattoo of a dot and a comma. As a meaning to continuancy, the life, not to give up. And he didn't give up. Yotam didn't give up. He was very strong, but also very weak. He wanted to die sometime, wanted to quit the world. He said to me a lot of times, Mommy, maybe it's enough. What do you think? Like this, cynical. Maybe it's enough. I don't have powers anymore. But he continued. He was very, very strong. And I think this is a bravery to continue despite all your all the issues, all the
challenges he had.
The challenges, yes.
Yeah.
Despite the challenges, you are continuing. You try to be better. And in captivity, I know for 65 days, he was very, very strong. There were 3 of them. They escaped 3. Yotam, Alon, and Samer. There were 3. And they helped each other a lot. This needs also bravery to be kind to each other, to give support to each other in the captivity, and to be able, like you said, to run away, to find place to sleep, to find the powers to continue, not to be afraid to stand in front of all these soldiers, all the Israeli soldiers, all the Hamas. Need a lot of strength.
It's
So he
a lot of
proved
strength.
he proved to anybody that mental health issues is not like weakness. Maybe it's opposite.
Maybe he found his strength knowing that he has always thought it made him weak, but maybe it was really what made him strong.
Yeah, when it happened, my son Tuval said to me, "Oy, misken Yotam." Misken is miserable. Oh, Yotam, miserable, Yotam, like this, miserable. And I said, no, Yotam is not miserable. Yotam is so strong. For 28 years. He practiced every day the challenges, every day. So maybe Hamas captivity will not be the worst thing for him because it's inside
His strength.
for him. Yeah. And he proved that.
Yeah, he escaped. It's huge.
He escaped. He arrived to Israel. He arrived to the army. I heard from one soldier how he looked because I didn't see him before the funeral. I didn't want to see his body. I couldn't. But this soldier told me that he was like the deer that they're running like a deer to the sun. And he was looking like a sun, like all very, very shiny and strong. And he didn't look ill or beaten from captivity, he didn't seems to be after 70 days of capture. It's amazing.
It is amazing. That's amazing. And I was reading that you mentioned Tuval, his brother, they were so close, inseparable.
They
Very
were
close.
close. From one side, there are 2 years and 4 months between them. Both really, really loved music. Both are drummers. And the music really connected them. They were laughing a lot together. A different personality, each one, very, very different. And each one, went to his life. Tuvala did his life in Yotam, but when they met, they were really, really They had a lot of memories together, good, good relationships.
And what about with his sister?
Noya also, she's younger. She's 21 now. She's 7.5 years from Yotam. She's almost 22 in July. Also, they are used to laugh a lot. Yotam was different because he liked to be alone a lot. He has his issues. The life with Yotam taught all of us a lot of things. I learned to be a better mother, a better person. I think a lot of what Yotam put like for me to handle a lot of challenges as a mother. I learned how to be more a lot more patient, more positive,
Children can do that
more
to us, huh?
uh,
I said children can do that to us.
yeah,
They
I
do make us better
understood
people.
exactly. That's what
And
I say about Yotam, about Uval.
it's
They were
uh
my teachers,
it's
the
it's
teachers for life.
universal, right? Us mothers, it's universal wherever we are, whether we're Jewish or we're not Jewish, mothers can be made better women, better people because of our children. Um, I am
About Jewish mothers, I have my thing that I'm saying that I understood that Jewish mothers, we have a specific chromosome. I call it a JMC, Jewish
yeah,
mother chromosome.
it is
The,
it is.
yeah,
That's
that
amazing.
Jewish mother chromosome. I mean, by this, I understood it that even that I am a mother for two musicians, I will not escape from my destiny to be maybe to be a grief mother because this is our destiny in the Jewish nation to maybe to give to give this price to pay the price
Mm,
because
that's
we are the Jewish people we are insisting to continue to live in peace in Israel as a Jewish nation and I found out about that during the war.
it's that's unbelievable to share that. I've been listening to you and I've held myself together. I thought I'm going to become so emotional in this conversation, but there's something about your spirit, your energy that is it is so positive in a time that is so negative and so dark. As we all struggle on this side of the world, seeing what you are going through and what your family has gone through and what all of Israel is going through. And I know that you have been here. I know now I'm speaking to you today. You're in California, but you were in
Mhm.
Toronto earlier this week. Ezer Mizon organization brought you here to Canada. Very special organization. They help so many individuals and their families, assisting them with various health challenges and needs. And did you have any relation to the organization prior to this before?
Um, not in special way.
Oh, so they
As a
weren't
nurse,
helping. Okay.
I knew them. Of course, in Israel, they are helping, like you say, a lot of people. They are very, very, very big organization.
Mm-hmm.
I know about their doing, about what they are doing, but not special connection. I'm going to speak in a lot of places because of like my um, who I became to be, like they always say, beacon of light, giving hope, telling you very, very good messages of hope and strength, and telling the story in a way that people can understand what is the powers, what is the strength that we have in Israel. I think you say that you look from there about what happened to us, but I don't see it like this. I see that we are all together. It's not that you are there and we are there. In Israel, we saw the influence of the diaspora. We feel it, the support, but I think also what happened to Israel, to us in Israel, it's not to Israel, it's to us in Israel, it's related also to the diaspora. The way we are dealing all together with this threat now, it's also a message to the Jewish in the diaspora.
Yes,
Israel is strong. We are strong. We have strong society. Our soldiers are amazing people. The mothers can hold the head up. So the powers go from both sides. You give power, we give power. I feel when I'm here that I'm giving powers to the communities here.
you
Yesterday,
are.
somebody asked me, how can we continue to help? So I said, you continue to help us, and we will continue to help you. So
Hmm.
it's not just that in Israel we are very poor, miserable, and everybody's now
No,
supporting.
no.
Just a moment, I need to put the electricity. Just a minute. Okay?
Plug it in.
Yeah.
Well, everybody just waits while you plug it in. I will continue talking because I'm so grateful for Iris to be speaking with us today as a mother. When I had heard the story, I was so depleted back in December, and I couldn't believe what Iris and her family have been through with their son. I didn't know where Iris was finding her strength. So I feel very grateful to have this conversation. I feel very grateful to be having this
Yeah.
conversation with you because it's I think it is a very, very important conversation. I want to share with you. I'm going to share this with you. I interviewed Rachel Goldberg many months ago now, unfortunately, on day 87. Hirsch, Poland's mother, of course, you know.
I guess. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I started the conversation by saying, "Hi, Rachel, how are you doing today?" And she said, "How do you think I'm doing today?" I went, "Oh my God," like right in my heart. And she said, it's like the worst question to ask a mother of a hostage. It is the worst thing. And I thought, oh my God, I've been interviewing people for over 20 years. And I felt that was like the biggest mistake I'd ever made in my entire career. And she wasn't saying it to me in a mean way. She was saying, I don't even know how to answer that because how do you think I feel? It's a terrible question. And yesterday, I saw an interview, or not yesterday, a couple of days ago, I saw an interview with you. It doesn't matter where, but here in Canada. And the anchor said to you, "Hi, Iris, how are you doing?" And you said, well, you paused and you said, well, do you mean how am I doing generally or how am I doing today? And he said, well, both, but how are you doing generally? And I put my hands over my face going, oh no, that is the worst question to ask. So I tell you this story because I want to.
I answered him. No, I
You
didn't.
did.
I did.
You answered beautifully, actually. But
Yeah.
I wanted to say to you, I didn't ask how you were doing because because of Rachel. She really explained it to me very well in a very short period of time what how are you means to a mother in this position. So I didn't ask how you are. So I didn't want you to be offended that I didn't ask how you are doing at the beginning
I,
of our interview. But I'm going to ask you now. Tell me how
okay.
you are doing now. I know you are traveling. With Ezer Mizon, I know you are traveling and doing very important work. But I want to know how you and your family are doing.
I will say, since day one, we didn't let ourselves fall to this dark hole of even the answer that she said to you, Rachel. I'm not using these words because, first of all, you don't do anything to hurt me. So if you ask me how are you, I don't think about now she asked me why she's not so sensitive enough, or no, she asked, it's a normal question, and I can say I don't know, or it's hard for me to answer, but I'm not throwing things upon others. So, like I said, since the first day, not the second day maybe, we are in very, very high place. We are doing things, are very, very positive all the time. Most of the 99%, of course, we are crying, we are sad sometimes, but we know that, like I said, my story, our story about Yotam gave us a lot of powers. I'm in a position now that I can help others with my words, with my attitude. So when you're able to help others, you are good. You are in a good shape. You are affecting. When you are affecting others, when I can affect people and they say to me, "You changed my life." When I'm hearing you telling about your son, and I'm going back home and I'm taking this to my home and see things otherwise, not the same like before, like a victim, this gives me a lot of powers, a lot of motivation to continue. So I didn't take myself, or my family didn't take herself to a place of just crying and blaming and why it's happened to us, like I said, differently. תודה.
Hi, hello.
Hello.
Tuval.
Shalom.
How are you?
Tuval.
Yes.
Tuval? מה נשמע?
בסדר, מה קורה?
Yeah, everything good. I've had a beautiful conversation with your mom. Thank you so much. It's nice to meet you.
You too.
I didn't know you were traveling with family. Your whole
Tuval.
family? But not.
No, me Tuval.
Ah.
Tuval is always coming with me. I don't want to go alone, and he's very, very helping me a lot. He's like the manager of everything.
Nice. Good son.
Yes, very good. Amazing. טוב, תן לנו
Iris.
להמשיך.
יאללה.
Bye.
Bye
So
bye.
I said I think we are taking the reality. We are looking at the reality different way, in a powerful way. So we are okay. We are good. We are good. We are doing things. We are positive. Yotam is here, but I'm not. I'm not comparing this to anybody else. Everybody took it differently. To be in a position that you don't know where is your son for 237 days, now 38 days, or it's the worst thing that can happen. Yeah, I struggled with this for 70 days. We knew about Yotam, we had information. She knows also about her son. Now she knows something. There was like the film, but I'm not judging anybody. Everybody is different. I'm happy that I can take it like I'm taking this. I'm happy. I feel that I'm lucky that I have these strengths and powers and ability to look at the thing as, not as a tragedy, because the tragedy, you know what is a tragedy? A tragedy is a story without hope. Somebody told me that a tragedy is a story without hope. So I don't call my story a tragedy. I call it a story, a sad story, but not without hope. We have hope. I can see this in all kinds of ways. Yotam, for me, I'm very spiritual. I feel Yotam. Yotam is talking to me through some women that are contact with me about him, and I really, really feel him. I'm saying all the time that Yotam went for 30 years for a mission in the space. And he said to me, "Mommy, you will not be able to contact me for 30 years, but be sure that I'm okay, and we will meet in 30 years." So it gives me a lot of powers to look at this like this.
I wanted to say that I've heard you speak before, and I'm very honored that you took the time to speak with me today. It's such great length. I know you're busy. I know you're speaking to people all over, to many groups of people. You are a voice of strength and resiliency. To me, you are the epitome of an Israeli woman, a Jewish mother, and I wish you and your family everything going forward. Everything.
Thank you so much. We hope for good news in the national level, in the personal level. I feel I have a lot to do.
Yes,
And we are not.
I feel that from you. I feel like you feel like this is work now for you and your family, and
Yeah.
I'm very grateful. Thank you, Iris. Thank you so much.
Thank
Be
you
well
so
to you and
much.
your family.
Thank you that you bring these messages to your audience.
100%. Thank you. Thanks everyone for listening and watching, and we'll see you next time on the DL. Bye for now.